Oh, um, was there a video scheduled for today? What do you mean I was supposed to have something prepared? I have all week to do this video. Like, why can't I get... Wait, it's Friday? Oh, shoot. Okay, hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Game Hub. I'm your host, Gamer K, and, I honestly forgot there was supposed to be a video done for this week. Okay, so, what was I supposed to be doing? Oh, yeah, perfect! Okay, so before I talk about it, cue the sound effects. Wait for it. Yeah, had one of the better transformation jingles. So, yep, it's another Super Sentai to Power Rangers, ladies and gentlemen. And this one is the 45th anniversary of Super Sentai. Yeah, 45 years, 45 different teams. And this one was actually a pretty good one. Now... yeah, I can only hope that if this does get dubbed, because after finding out that Cosmic Fury has been in production now, oh, they really did Q Ranger dirty. But yeah, it's time to do a video where my video of Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger for Power Rangers. Now, this one is and was a pain in the ass to come up with. Like, because the theme that they went for in the Sentai, and I do love how they did one second, I just gotta check my information. Checking out my information again because I wanted to get this 100% accurate. I like the idea of what Zenkaiger did, having to use all the powers of previous Sentai teams with gears because their whole worlds have been trapped by the villains. I like it, but at the same time, how did they get them? Also, it's like the whole thing of the other Sentais, their worlds being trapped. It doesn't really overall play into the story, which is kind of disappointing a little bit. And I do like how every single, for the lack of a better term, Ranger are all based on anniversaries of the Sentai. They've got 45 for this one, 10, which is Jura Ranger, I can't remember, which is basically Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. 10, which is Gaon, which is Wild Force. 29, which 25, which all honesty is 10 for Wild Force. 29 29, which is technically the Mystic Force Sentai. Or, hang on, if 10 is Wild Force and Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, SPD, Mystic Force would have been 14. And 29, which is technically the Operation Overdrive. And 35, which would be I can't remember. Kaisuko Sentai Zenkaiger, that's it, Zenkaiger, which is number 35, which would have been Super Mega Force, which I'm going right around that in a way. So, aside from all my babbling, it's time to sit down and let's see if I can transform this brand new anniversary series into something that Power Rangers could be proud of. Let's see. Okay, so to start off with is, I try to start off with the villains as much as I can, because the villains are the overall accompaniment of what makes Power Rangers unique. And I think, like, for all the ones I've done, like, over the years, yeah, Tokyuger and Zyuohger, I didn't really go that much into detail that much, because I was just starting doing this kind of video, so I didn't know exactly how to do it. But overall, for this one, they need to do an overall new team. Like, I love the people from Dino Thunder, Dino Fury. They need to stop dinosaurs. And I love them, and I still need to finish season 2 of Dino Fury, but I digress. They need to do a whole new team, a whole new batch of villains. Now, having it be what is it called? Yeah. Basically, they need to make these villains really, really cool, because their designs are absolutely amazing. They're a robotic empire with a giant villain being in the wall with one arm. I was originally going to suggest they do something like with the machine empire from Zeo, but then I thought, you know what? They've already technically done stuff like that by having Lord Zed come back in Dino Fury, and I don't want to constantly rely on older seasons in order to get villains. This is going to be a completely new set of villains. I'm thinking they could be an interdimensional empire who has found a way to this is hard. This is really hard, taking this Sentai concept and transform it into something that would be good for Power Rangers. This is a lot harder than I thought, and I'm not acting here. I'm really flabbergasted, even though I have my notes here. I think they could do like an interdimensional empire where their entire continent could be, their battleship, or like, something really, really cool like that. Like, almost like a Death Star thing, where their entire empire is on a floating battle cruiser, something like that. And their whole goal is to, like, something like Sledge when he was collecting meteorites for some reason, but they collect the universes of the Power Rangers, because I think there could be a character here who, okay, so because of Beast Morphers and RPM, we do know that there are alternate dimensions. There are alternate dimensions of Power Rangers, and with that, they would have the ability to cross over dimensions to fight certain threats. So I think in this dimension, where the villains are, they don't have a Power Rangers team yet. So, I think there would be like this human character who's not exactly an alien, who's an interdimensional being called the Ranger Chronicler. He would be a guy who has chronicled the journeys, the battles, the defeats, and everything of all Power Rangers throughout space and time. Something to that effect, so that he could theoretically be not that much of a threat, but once the villains find out that if they're planning on dominating their universe, and this would be a completely separate universe from all the other Sentai, from all the other Power Rangers. So the villains would basically be using a device that they have in order to steal away the Power Rangers from each dimension, and it would kind of turn them into the gears as a way of storing them. And I know that's kind of far-fetched, but hey, some things in Power Rangers don't need explanation. And this way, the Rangers could very well play an intricate role in this season instead of what the Sentai should have been, like having them come into the season. So in terms of the villains, yeah, we got the giant Emperor who's in the wall. We have the battle tactician who's a tank-based robot with a giant bomb lance spear. We have the scientist guy who's obviously the inventor, who's on caterpillar tracks, which I do like the design of it. We also have a purple parrot android who's basically the pet for the Emperor. But I think they would do something with him, because one thing I haven't seen in a good long while for Power Rangers is a unique way of making the monsters grow, because it's just been, for how many seasons now has it been laser beams or just the monsters growing on their own? No, let's destroy these monsters and then make them grow. So for this one, the parrot could be something like Orbit from Zeo, like I said, where he would be sent down there and hook his claws in, and he places a gear into the defeated robots, because all these monsters this season were robots in a way, and the gears would shift and make them grow. Something to that effect, something that would utilize the parrot robot. And the twist they did for that was, for the end of Zenkaiger, it was honestly pretty stupid and dull, so I'm working it in. And then later on in the episodes, like maybe after like episode 10, when the Rangers have come together, they introduce the Evil Ranger. We haven't had one of those in like, oh my god, how long ago was it? I think we haven't had an Evil Ranger since Dino Thunder. Holy crap. Man, they need to bring that cliche back. And he would be the purple Ranger, or as in the Sentai, stay Caesar. So I think Caesar would be a cool name for the android, being like an emperor's son, something like that. But he would be an android, but he would be a human actor. And as he spends time on Earth, either like fighting the Rangers, spying on them, gathering intel on humans, he would start to become a little bit more human, like developing emotions, kind of understanding humans a little bit more. Something to that effect, where later on in the season, where he rebels against the Empire and goes in secret in order to fight back, and while still keeping in touch with like one Ranger he's befriended or something. And no, I'm not going to do a stupid romance, because there is no freaking way to do romance in this season unless I rework it a little bit. And for the robots, all the robots in the Sentai were based on the worlds that they've already collected. Like, not the Sentai worlds, but various alternate universes. Like, there was a Freezer dimension, there was a old-time dimension, there was a school dimension, which doesn't really make sense. They could definitely work in the bots designs and come up with some new ones, because a lot of them are based on Japanese, not lore, but like customs and everything. So that kind of stuff would not really affect Western media. So they could come up with something. So yeah, their overall plan is to conquer their dimension where humans still live. Like, it's not that much different. It's just a different dimension where humans obviously exist. And then once they try to conquer it, some humans are chosen by the certain gears. I don't know, but I'm thinking like maybe like have it be like in RPM where they are not exactly fully winning, but more like a couple weeks before during the invasion a little bit, so they haven't fully won. A rebel human who tries to fight back sneaks into their battle cruiser and finds the Sentai gears. Maybe he's like a collector of something. No, wait, no. Let's have... Oh, this could work. The Ranger Chronicler who could... Yeah, this mystical character could recruit a human who is an expert at breaking and entering. Like, he finds someone with the skill set and helps them break in, and the Chronicler takes certain gears, which are the gears that they need in order to transform into Rangers. I'm still a little iffy on this because this is the only Sentai season where 4 out of the 6 Rangers are robots. So incorporating that a little bit is going to be a little bit harder. But what if the Chronicler has, like, as he's been hiding out in this dimension, because there were no Rangers, there was no threat, and any villain who finds out about the Chronicler would definitely want him gone, so he can't warn any Rangers. But about this point, all the Rangers from all the other dimensions have been captured in their worlds at least have been captured. So the guy that the Chronicler hires in order to get the gears, they go back to his base where he has certain allies who are building the Rangers in order to fight. So it's the Ranger bots. Yeah, I know they've done robot Rangers in a lot of other seasons, like Lightspeed Rescue, but these ones will actually have personality to them. And I think it's good. There will be the Red, who's based on the Mighty Morphin, who's the dinosaur themed. And I think for a personality-wise, having the Red be the hothead would be too much of a big cliche. So why don't we make the Red one the smart one of the group? Yeah, I know it's something weird, but it's something different. Yellow is based on Wild Force, so the lion, the beasts. So that character could be like the kid of the group, somewhat naive, but also at the same time a strong character. But so he's like naive, but he's kind of like he's really strong. I know I've said that twice, but I'm just trying to emphasize my point of making the beast character the strong one and making the dinosaur one the smart one. I'm just trying to mix it up a little bit. Pink is Mystic Force, so the whole magic theme, and it's the only female in the group. So in order to work with that, we could make her... Maybe one who's... I mean, yeah, she would have her own personality, but I'm trying to think of something that would work. Maybe she's interested in all sorts of... Like, she's more interested in finding out about humans than she is about being a ranger, or her programming as a ranger, and she doesn't care for fighting that much. Until she's, put into the threshold and realizes that if she doesn't fight, the world's gonna end and she won't get to learn anything more about what humans do and all that. So something like that. Blue is based on Operation Overdrive, and it's a big vehicle. So, and he is technically the bookworm of the group in the Sentai. So, instead of that, let's make it the old soul a little bit. Like, have it be like the personality of the wise guy, and well, not the wise guy, but the wise person. But at the same time, make him more stern and not so happy-go-lucky until he sees the joy that humans bring and wants to adapt to that. Again, let's have them have their own kind of personalities, but make them not so obvious of their personalities. And With the Chronicler needing someone to lead these robots into battle, we have the White Ranger. Yeah, we get a White Ranger right off the bat for once, and they're the leader. So I think the Thief character who helps him kind of maybe wants to, like, let's make him not likable in the beginning. Like, have him be only interested in the money that he was promised for the job, and then he tries to take off. But then the Chronicler starts to tell him about the real threat of the world, and he needs to stop thinking about he needs to think about someone other than himself. But, you know, he just shrugs it off and goes on. And that's not until the foot soldiers of the Empire start attacking the city, and, you know, he's got the money that he was paid, because, you know, the Chronicler could have, like, intergalactic currency for any dimension. And then you know, that split-second decision happens where the money is thrown, he gets blasted, the money gets thrown, he sees the money, he tries to grab it, but then he notices someone is about to be attacked, and he chooses between the money or saving someone, and that's when the Chronicler gifts him with his very own gear in order to transform into the White Ranger, which, like, I know I'm going really deep into detail for these characters, but I haven't seen a Power Rangers characters that are not teenagers for the longest time. It needs to end. We don't need teenagers with attitude. We need to go back a little bit into what RPM, SPD were, where they were young adults, and this kind of character would definitely work. And then for the Auxiliary Ranger, we have Gold, who is based on Zenkaiger, which is Super Mega Force. So it's a pirate aesthetic. And I want to keep this guy far the hell away from anything related to Super Mega Force. So I'm thinking this guy could be an interdimensional traveler, with his Zord being a giant crocodile pirate ship, where he is a ranger in his own universe, which is pirate themed. So he doesn't act like a pirate. He just acts all snobby and really full of himself. And he travels with his sister, who is the engineer on the ship, because I do like how Zox and shoot, I'm forgetting her name. The Gold Tweaker siblings in this, and I do love that. I do love what they did. So I would love having the Sixth Ranger having a companion in that sort. So either a friend or his sister or something like that. And she develops the two little robots for them, because putting them doing the same thing that they did in the Sentai would be kind of dumb. So making them basically their own mini robots that would allow him to access his other forms, which would be the Samurai form and the Zeo form, which they do it pretty well, and I do like the design. Now, I know what you're thinking. Now, if they're robots, what are the Zords? Well, the robots become the Zords as they put their gear in and transform, so they'll grow big and they'll be upgraded. And I do like this idea. Having the White Ranger become the pilot, and the Zords can fold up and fit into two. So they can do red and pink, red, blue, red, yellow, or they could mix and match their forms in order to get varying different forms and varying different effects. So red becomes a dinosaur, yellow becomes a lion, pink becomes a dragon, and blue becomes a truck. Yeah, I know that sounds weird, but all honesty, I think it could work. So they're just the Rangers, they're the Zords, and they just grow bigger with an upgrade gear. And I do really, really love that. And I also love how the power-up, like the battleizer, because I like the term battleizer for this one, is shared between the Sixth Ranger and the first Ranger, and it's a kaiju. It's the Zenkaiger gear, and it's based on the Green Dragon Zord and the Q-Rex. So How could that not be awesome? I'm just telling you guys right now. I think it would be pretty cool. So, like, I know these ideas are kind of all over the place a little bit, but I think it could definitely work. And at first, Gold Ranger and his companion wouldn't want to join the team because they're fighting to defeat. Yeah, what if the Empire captured their universe, but they were able to quickly get away first, so that they're trying to release their homeworld. And again, having an interdimensional, like, okay, I'm trying. Hang on. A little dehydrated. Not only having this Ranger team be the very first Ranger team in this universe, because this universe has no Rangers, and all the other Rangers have been captured throughout time. To have another interdimensional Ranger, not a team, just he's a sole Ranger, he could definitely fit in with this universe and battling the villains and trying to reclaim his home. Something that was somewhat similar to what Zox and Flint, that was her name, Flint, were doing in Sentai, trying to revive their brothers back to normal. But in this term, they're getting their home back. And it's the only way to do it is to help the Rangers here. Now, I think it would be a pretty good idea to do that. Oh, and for the villain later on, they would have their ultimate weapon general, who is only brought in as a last resort for last minute an option. He's a ruthless battle bot who does not let anyone, even his own men, get in the way of victory. So there could be a lot of great conflict with that, because from what I've seen a lot of the time, the general's infighting is really, really good. Except for Madame Odious, which was... oh, dear God. Let's see. Now, in terms of the weapons and the Morpher is a small Gatling gun, which also, when they use the Sentai, the Ranger gears, they would obtain the abilities of the Rangers. But considering there's so many Ranger Sentais that were not dubbed, and a lot of them were so cartoony, there's no real way for them to use the gears for their powers at all, which kind of sucks, because it would be kind of cool, but they don't really have powers, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like in the Sentai where they have absolute powers when they're in their Ranger mode, but more like, yeah, that's going to be a tough one to kind of work through. Let's see. Yeah, and also, like, having the robots have their powered up forms when they're fighting, and technically their standard forms, I think it could be really cool having these robots in these character models interacting with the human civilization. Like, at first they don't trust them because they're robots and they're being attacked by robot monsters, but they start to work in society and kind of want to be human again, you know? Well, not to be human again, but kind of understand, like, there's more than to what they're programming. And this surprises the Ranger the Chronicler. Like, he built these robots to fight, and that was it. But over time, they start to develop their own personalities and their own whole thing. And I think it could be really cool. And yeah, I don't have much other than that, but the ideas are there. I kind of threw this in a little bit last minute, because all these, again, I had to scratch out a whole bunch of these ideas, because making this idea work and to make it its own thing plus an anniversary edition is not Easy. And I refuse to go the way of what they did with Mega Force and Super Mega Force. Because, oh dear God, that was a travesty. That was an absolute travesty. So I am trying my best here, ladies and gentlemen. Is it the most glamorous and most well thought out idea I've ever done? No. Far from it. Is it better than what Megaforce ever did? Yes. Am I going to stop griping on Megaforce? No, I will not. But my overall point is, Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger was an absolute thrill ride and an absolute joy of a series, except for the ending, which was very, 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 very BS. But at the same time, it had its good moments. It was enjoyable. So I would love to see some of these ideas either make it to fan fiction, make it to the Power Rangers cast at Hasbro, make it to the directors, to the idea people, and just find a way to turn these amazing Sentai into Power Rangers, because there are so many good ones that haven't been done, and it needs to. And that's all I've got, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed my ranting. I hope some of you Ranger fans and Super Sentai fans out there like these ideas. I really hope you do, because it was not easy coming up with these ideas. So, yeah. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and join me next week where we are doing kind of a different kind of ranking video. And it's come back to jack in and power up with me as we get into power-ups forms from one of my favorite Capcom Digital Heroes. This is Gamer K, logging out.